Hello, my fellow intellectuals. This is Jobo Contilio from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Sciences 2A, equipped by providing the best knowledge for your intellectual nourishment. In this video, I am going to discuss one of the most fundamental social institutions, the education, underlying which are the types of education, functions of education, new normal in education, and the problems of educational institutions. But before that, let me first underscore what a social institution is. For definition, social institution is a major area of social life, organized to meet human needs. This simply means that social institutions are enduring sets of social structures that provide the mechanism for behaviors and help each society with its fundamental survival needs. Examples of these permanent institutions include religion that provide indirect moral and spiritual growth, family that nurture and shelter individuals with love, economic institutions that distribute and deal with money, goods, and services in the economy, government that exercises political authority over the actions and affairs of a political unit and people, and education that cater intellectual provisions. Social institutions are indispensable as they channel behaviors in a prescribed way, resulting in social harmony. Our expectations correlate with the expectations of other people, therefore, acting in a legitimate mutual way. For example, it is mutually despicable in our perception abandoning children by their parents without valid or logical reasons. Taking a chair for yourself instead of giving it to a pregnant woman does not meet that criteria for what is good and proper, thus provoking sanction, anger, or injustice. Institutions then are formed by expectation on certain things to preserve social harmony. Without further ado, let's jump into the heart of this discussion, the educational institution. For definition, education is the social institution through which society provides its members with all kinds of important knowledge. Educational institutions shape our attitude and prepare us for behaving in a certain manner. It transforms and directs individuals into useful members of society. There are two types of education, the formal education and the informal education. Formal education is the education taken from schools, colleges, universities, and other formal educational institutions. Therefore, this is a predominantly common academic setup. Formal education is a deliberate process that includes curriculum, time, and syllabus. It is imparted in a real classroom setup with teachers and students, so it cannot be done in a haphazard manner. On the other hand, informal education is the education taken from family, community, and society. Informal learning is not planned and deliberate, and independent from the four walls of the school. It is a lifelong process taken from society in a natural way. Examples are media, parents, newspaper, movies, friends, and organizations. There are plethoric functions of education. Some of these include cultural transmission, future occupation, technique of learning skills, socialization, rational thinking, personal adjustment, family living, patriotism, and character building. Let us then accentuate each one of the functions of education. The first is cultural transmission. This can easily be done in educational setups. The system of educational institution transmits our cultural values to the next generation. Teachers themselves are immersed to the socio-cultural norms of education and community. This knowledge acquired through educational exposures are taught to students, therefore gaining the same knowledge with personal modifications. The second function is future occupation. Education directs towards the selection of future occupation. Education provides the methods to acquire necessary information on various aspects of life. The students then choose among the preferences of what is more suitable or what profession he is genuinely passionate about. The third is the acquisition of techniques of learning skills. Education enables people to learn important techniques of the profession he has adopted, thus broadening the aptitude. It provides the students an understanding to select their profession according to their abilities, may it be in medical, engineering, sciences, economics, politics, social sciences, or others. The fourth one is socialization. Education plays a role in socialization. Students socialize and learn punctuality, time management, and respect the authority of their teachers, which prepares them to respect their elders. Socialization helps in personality development and gain more knowledge. The fifth one is rational thinking. Education makes man to think critically. A child can think rationally if he is socialized with educated students. The students can be open to new interpretations of ideas, believing of facts and philosophy by logical and empirical evidences. He can independently think for what is proper and good and scrutinize various insights about the world. Personal adjustment. By education, an individual makes personal adjustment with the environment in which he or she lives. The individual can very easily adjust himself in the social groups of his community and find mutual interest with others. The seventh one is family living. Education trains man on the mechanism of living. He knows the status of all members and can fit himself by doing his roles. In the end, he will be introduced in marriage, marital roles, and the ways of familial responsibility. Patriotism. Patriotism develops through education in the young generation. The children recognize themselves and their duties towards nation. And last but not the least, character building. The predominant role of education in augmenting the characters among the students is by character building. They learn the societal and cultural conventions and values to become progressive and promising members of the society. The youngsters can develop full knowledge of morality and ethics. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, schools in the Philippines adapt various learning delivery modalities depending on the local health conditions, availability of resources, and context of the learners. These learning modalities include face-to-face, distance learning, blended learning, and homeschooling. Face-to-face refers to the modality where students and the teacher are both physically present in the classroom and there are opportunities for active engagement, immediate feedback, and social-emotional development of learners. Distance learning refers to a modality where learning takes place between the teacher and the learners who are geographically remote from each other during instruction. There are three types of distance learning. These include modular distance learning, online distance learning, and the television or radio-based instructions. Blended learning refers to a learning delivery that combines face-to-face with any or a mix of modular distance learning, online distance learning, and television radio-based instruction. Homeschooling. This modality aims to provide teachers with quality basic education that is facilitated by qualified parents, guardians, or tutors who have undergone relevant training in a home-based environment. There are two types of online learning modality: the synchronous online class and the asynchronous online class. The synchronous online classes allows students and instructors to be online at the same time. While on the other hand, asynchronous online classes allow students to participate in course activities whenever they choose. Online education can be implemented successfully through pre-recorded video lectures, electronic books, social media outlets, video conferencing, and virtual classrooms like the learning management system. However, there are also challenges in the new normal: online resources, internet access, gadgets and devices, and ICT skills. That will be all in this video. Don't forget to subscribe.